Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another live show. Big up your damn selves in the building. Let's get into this. Listen, first of all, apologies for actually some of the people that managed to join me yesterday. In the second half, I did end up going live on Instagram, but I'll tell you how that all went and what went down yesterday, because I tried to go live on YouTube and just connection at Stamford Bridge is wobbly. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll get into it. Big up everybody in the chat. We won in the end. Fair play. We got the job done. It wasn't the prettiest game in the world. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't the greatest game to even think about trying to even bring to you guys live in the first place. It was kind of peak in the first half. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat though. Big up for becoming a new member, brother. Much appreciated. Let's see here what's being said. I mean, also just before the game as well, Cole Palmer breaking, which was kind of mad. And I saw, yes, Toby crying on the TL about Asu Fati, thinking that he had a chance, just a glimmer of hope. And the next thing you know, just snatched away from him. His soul just ripped out of his body. It was rough. I'm not going to lie. It was peak. No one likes to see that happen to a friend. You know, no one likes to see that happen to a friend. It's very, very, very sad. You know, didn't even get an opportunity to sleep on it, you know, enjoy it for the night. Before we even went to bed, Brighton, bang, out, gone, done, mad. Shame, not gonna lie, shame. But big up Brighton though. I don't even know how that's even happening. This guy was like a golden boy or second in the golden boy kind of awards or race like a couple of years ago. And next thing you know, obviously these injuries are piled up, and now he's going to Brighton on loan. I'm very excited to see how he does. I'm not gonna lie, it just makes it very interesting when we do play against them, because we got them in the next round. How scripted is that? We have them in the next round. In the third round of the Carabao Cup, we play Brighton at home. That was the draw yesterday. We have to play them. So JJ, I was there. We got fleeced. Who got fleeced? Oh, for Cole Palmer. We're gonna talk. Yes, I put it. Well, listen, some of you got to see it, which was nice. Others did not, which was just a shame. Let's get into it. And we'll talk about Cole Palmer a lot as well. Struggling to find his seat was too funny as Aaron. I'm going to talk about, I actually wasn't struggling too much actually to find my seat. So let's talk. So obviously, you know, we get to Stamford Bridge. We're there. We're live in the flesh. We're ready for the game. And obviously I'm trying to bring the game to you guys live, and I get to my seat in the Matthew Harding lower, and it quickly dawns upon me. First of all, you know, I'm in row X, and I've accidentally made the mistake of going into row W. You know, the letters are kind of along the seats, and I've gone into the wrong row. You know, it's that row, not this row. So I get to that seat now, and I get into that seat that I thought I was meant to be in, and I'm standing there, I'm enjoying life. You know, I'm getting myself ready, setting up my phone and whatnot. And this old man comes up to me, old bald man, and he comes up to me and says, you're in my seat. I said, oh, apologies, I was not familiar. I was not familiar. And he's like, bruv, you need to, and he just starts getting mad hostile. And I'm like, hold on a second. It's not personal, brother. I can move. I didn't know I was in the wrong row. We don't have to get up and close and personal here. He's like, oh, I've been going for 30 years. You're in my seat. I'm sick of these tourists. Blah, blah, blah. I said, whoa. We don't need to get all problematic now. Relax yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't say anything you're gonna regret. That may harm your defense. Do you know what I'm saying? Relax yourself, brother. I am going. Okay, I did not realize. And he was, listen, he was this close to getting racist. I'm telling you, he was this close. He was, if I had stood there for 5 more seconds, I'm telling you, would have blurred out the N-word. This man was on his, he was old, bald white man, you know, is everything that Chelsea tell us, you know, could go left for a man like myself at the bridge. It was looking long. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was looking very long for me. He wanted to start a fight. This guy was like, yo, should we go? I said, whoa, what? Is this who said, are we at the fight? Where is this, Stamford Bridge or is it Wembley? What's wrong with you? Why are we even having this conversation? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn. It's Wimbledon at home. I don't give a damn. Do you think I care? Relax. So that kind of ruined my pre-match experience. I'm not gonna lie, because he was really on to me. He was on to me. He was trying to fight. He really wanted to fight. I just said, fam, cool. So I get into my seat now. I come, and then when I go to the row over, because it isn't seat 94 in row X. When I get to my seat, I look and I realize, oh my god, this guy's right behind me. I'm not standing next to this guy the whole game. He's already ruined my pre-match experience. I'm not standing with this guy the whole game. I'm in seat 94 row X. He's in seat 94 row W, and he's right there all game. And I'm like, nah, we're not doing this. We're definitely not doing this. This is not happening. This is proper Chelsea. We ain't doing this. I am not asked for this. There's no way I'm gonna be able to bring you the game live with this guy, because he's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if you're not chanting 90 minutes out of 90 minutes, he's gonna get onto you. Like, don't even think that you can take a breath. Don't take a sip of water. Don't do anything other than sing Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea for the full 90 minutes. I said, all right, cool. So I need to get the hell out of here before this guy kills me. So I'm making, and the game's starting to kick off at this point. You know, I'm trying to make my way to a better view, because I'm saying, how am I going to get the game to these guys with this dead view? Like, I'm literally in the middle of Matthew Harding lower, and it's like straight ahead is the pitch. So you're not going to get to see Chelsea attacking, because I'm just looking straight, and they're on the other side of the pitch. They're shooting that way. I said, this is not going to work. So I get to the other side now. I get to the other side of Matthew Harding lower, more to the right. You know, I can't get to the west, where I wanted to be was the west upper or the east upper, so I could give you like a bird's eye TV kind of view. Couldn't get there. It's not possible. So I said, all right, cool. I'm gonna have to settle for the right side of the Matthew Harding lower. So I get there, looking for a little empty seat. You know, nobody who wants to fight. Just normal Chelsea fans. You don't want to fight. Just anybody who wants to just watch the game. So I sat down. And I'm just about to get myself together. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to connect. If you guys have ever been to Stamford Bridge, their Wi-Fi is absolutely atrocious. It is horrendous. Just awful. Like, it's not about data. It's not about, you know, having connect. You can have data. I have data. I'm unlimited data, more than you can believe data. Okay, we don't roll without data. But these man, they don't care what you're rolling with. They're shutting you down. They do not have any data out. There's no signal. I'm trying to connect to their Wi-Fi, which is also shit. We do manage to connect in the end, but it takes a while. This is why I was so late. Now I'm trying to set up the live, and I got these stewards right next to me. I said, wow, this is a long day. And you know, they're clocking me. They're like, why is this guy holding his phone for so long, just in this weird angle? And I'm like, listen, let's just take a moment here. And I did have a word with one of them. And this is where we're coming towards why I didn't put this on YouTube, because a lot of people, Eunice's channel, I think he plugged. He was like, yo, it's gonna go on YouTube. I said, I'm trying to put it on YouTube, but I spoke to them. They was like, listen, bro, everybody's trying to do this, right? There's bare people trying to do this right now, but you put this on YouTube. If it was to get flagged, it could be a long day for you. I'm not gonna lie, because it's technically illegal what you're trying to do. Kind of illegal. It's illegal streaming, you know. So if you do it on YouTube and they find it, you know, Carol Bobbins find it, whoever finds it, EFL, Chelsea, whoever finds it, if they find it and they report you, they might suspend your thing. And I was like, kind of got 60,000 subs here. Kind of worked hard on this. I don't really know if I want to get my whole channel suspended over Chelsea versus Wimbledon. So maybe I should just allow this one and keep it moving. And that was really what was going through my head. I was like, as much as I love you guys and I'm trying to bring you the game, I don't really want to get the whole thing locked off. Do you know what I'm saying? That sounds kind of peak. Because starting from zero again would be long. So I said, all right, cool. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it stepping. You know, second half we decided to go to Instagram, and Instagram kind of worked. Yeah, they might do, but I don't know if I didn't see anybody doing it on YouTube. But on Instagram there was a couple of us, you know, running it, and but it worked. It did the job. Make it make sense. They're not broadcasting, but illegal police are there to smash up to the channel. Bro, listen, the way I read it on Google when I Googled it is, okay, nobody's taken the broadcasting rights, right? Nobody's taken the TV rights, which is fair. No Sky Sports, no TNT, no nobody. But you still have to pay to broadcast it. If you don't pay to broadcast it, then what you're doing is technically illegal, because you didn't pay, you don't have the rights to broadcast the Carabao Cup fixture. So yeah, it's something that needs to be purchased. It's not something that you can just do. You know, you don't just get access just because nobody else got access. It's the same as anything, right? If nobody pays for a ticket to a concert, if you can't just get in for free just because no one paid to go and it's empty, you still have to pay. So it's the same with that. If you don't pay to have the broadcasting rights and the whole, you know, round your neck, and you know, MAH Productions, they have the rights to broadcast. If you don't have that, technically it's a long day for you if you get caught. So that's why, you know, it wasn't really worth the risk. So second half we ran it on Instagram though, and you know, about 1,400 people enjoyed it. But it's a shame. It's a shame. I probably should have just started on Instagram to begin with, and then we wouldn't have this problem. But man tried to do the unthinkable. But yeah, YouTube is a bit too bait, I'm not gonna lie. But it's a madness. Some people caught it live regardless, which was nice. I'm glad. I think one of there was a girl on Instagram that was running it, and I actually ended up seeing her at the game. She ran it for the whole game, and a lot of people ended up getting to watch it that way as well, which was cool. But yeah, it's a madness. They showed key chances. Yeah, don't know why they didn't just show the game live. You know what I'm saying? No one asked for highlights here. Just show the game. Obviously, Chelsea part of their highlights anyway. But it wasn't a great game. I'm not gonna lie. Even though I only got the second half for you guys, you didn't miss much on the first half. The first half was not fun. Conceding that penalty was, when it happened, I was like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna argue. You know, it's on the other side. You know, I'm seeing it here, and I'm thinking to myself, it's quite up close and personal. But you know, I because I'm so blind, and this is why it's such a struggle for me, I'm still thinking, okay, maybe Sanchez did hit him. It happened quite fast. Maybe I'm in the wrong. It didn't look like one when I watched it, but I said, okay, maybe he did hit him. Maybe it was an Onana situation I just didn't see. But he didn't. It didn't look like a penalty to me. It looked like it was some sort of farcical foolishness. It wasn't a penalty. Even though, you know, you're going to look at Sanchez and be like, why'd you do that? It wasn't actually a penalty. Didn't really catch him. But it is what it is. We go 1-0 down due to a penalty. And, you know, the one thing I can say about that first half is just Madueke alone. Obviously, you know, Leslie and Gallagher, they didn't put a foot wrong in the midfield. But it was Madueke was the only one that was looking like it was going to change anything for us. Everything else was just very predictable, very, you know, passive. It was just kind of bland, very much rice with no salt kind of game. It was very dead. You know, it's not like Wimbledon were offering much of a threat. I wasn't really threatened by them, as you wouldn't expect us to be. You know, they had a couple of set pieces, and cool, they'll put the ball in the box every now and then, but nothing to be worried about. Just they're in the final third, they were exactly what they are, a League Two team. But in terms of us, just very, very poor in the first half. Madueke was just going past players, trying to put something together. That Diego guy, he's not ready. He's not ready. Yeah, Go Diego Go was not ready. Go Diego Go got hooked, and rightly so. He was not ready to be out there, which was kind of crazy. I expected him, when I saw him on the team sheet, I thought, first of all, it was very weird to see Cucurella on the team sheet. That was weird. I don't know. I don't know how that happened, because last time I checked, he's on his way to Manchester United. I did not expect to see him on the team seat. But yeah, my brother Go Diego Go, wasn't it? It wasn't it. He was struggling, and I was looking at him on the team sheet thinking, okay, this is a really good opportunity for you to impress. Didn't really notice Brewster too much. Like I said, first half they were kind of kicking all the way on the other side of the pitch, and I was all the way on this side, so it wasn't the greatest view. So even if I did catch it live, you probably would have just left anyway, because it wasn't a great view. But yeah, Go Diego Go is not ready. Kind of can see why he's maybe in the PL2 team and why he didn't go out on loan even. Maybe they're looking to coach him in-house. We obviously always get the conversation. And I was kind of annoyed when Angelo left, because I said, listen, it was very evident that Angelo was much more polished, much more, you know, much better player than Diego in pre-season. But that has led to the fact that they rated Angelo higher, which is why he got his loan in the first place. If Diego was out on loan at Strasbourg, I don't think he'd be getting to kick ball too much. I'm not going to lie. Even Angelo's on the bench in the early days. I don't think Diego would have got much opportunity. I know you're saying Diego didn't get to play his preferred side in the chat, but he's played left. He's played left at Benfica B a lot. Played both. He played right for us, but he played a lot of left on the Benfica B. So I don't think left or right really should have made too much of a difference for him against that level of opposition as well. Either flank should have been cleaning up. So yeah, a little bit disappointing for him. Brewster, I didn't really notice too much in the first half. It was really Madueke Ball FC, and that was it. Defense, was always going to be what it was against Wimbledon. Just have a lot of the ball and handle your business. Let's see what else everyone's saying. His favorite position is actually left wing. He's not ready for men's football, needs a loan. I think, again, these are just under 21 players that are just going to play there. Don't think everybody's going to get a loan. So it is what it is. Ornstein Bomba. Which type of Bomba are you talking about? Because I saw a lot of Bombas yesterday. And if this is not on for the same level, then we're going to be very disappointed. I'm not seeing anything coming up at the moment. I'm not going to lie. I'm not seeing anything yet. Oh, here we are. Nope. Colwell injury again. Couldn't really tell how bad it was. He was kind of wrapped up at the end of the game. Gallagher, potentially Tottenham away and a late bid. We'll talk about that. Obviously, Man City got Nunes. That was one of the bombers from yesterday. How quickly we got that Cole Palmer deal was kind of scary as well. That was kind of mad how quickly that happened. Let's see. What else is being said here? No deadline day stress. I was kind of looking forward to it though. The whole mystery box attacker thing. Who is it going to be? Deadline day, tracking planes. We ain't got nothing now. It's crazy. What do you think of Leslie? Yeah, Leslie was solid, man. I thought Leslie was solid. Nothing. Look, again, I expected Leslie to be good. So Leslie doing a good job was not really a surprise to me. He just did a sound job. Like I said, the only person that stood out that was like, wow, this guy is really running it here today is Madueke. He was showing some nice pieces of skill, going past players, taking players on. Everybody else was just doing a very good job. Gallagher, I checked his duels after the game, was pretty solid, pretty much won all of his duels. But again, the level of team that we're playing against, Leslie, Gallagher, these guys are always going to be, they're always going to run the midfield against that opposition. So I'm not really taking too much from that game for a lot of those players. There was more Go Diego Go and Brewster, the weaker players in the lineup. I wanted to see if they could rise, but they couldn't. So the players that are staying in the first team squad, they're not meant to be having no trouble against Wimbledon at home. League Two, just played Forest Green at the weekend, drew that game. Leslie, those guys, if you're in the first team squad, you are handling Wimbledon with your eyes closed. Everybody else, In PL2, we'll see. But yeah, the guys from PL2 didn't really do too much. Those thoughts on the away shirt. Actually, the away shirt, have I even seen it? Best question, because I don't know if it's even, we've never worn it yet. We've only been wearing our home shirt so far this season. I don't think I've even seen it, unless it's on the TL. Am I copying the new away shirt? Let me see if I can see it. Is it on the TL or something? So I think I've seen it, but you know, everybody thinks they've seen things, but we haven't actually. I've not really seen a proper announcement, unless Chelsea have just announced it. Have they? No. Because Chelsea have not really, they've not announced the sponsor on the main page. They're not really announced. Oh, there it is. Okay, I see it now. Cool. So they finally announced it today. Okay. Time to shine, diamond patterning, subtle gold detail, featuring our new shirt, kits from the 90s. It's clean, you know. It's giving off Spider-Man. It's giving off Spider-Man. Not sure which version of Spider-Man, but it's nice. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I like the round collar. Yeah, I'll take that. It's not a problem. We'll see what it looks like when the sponsor goes on. Obviously, the home kit's better. The home kit's the best. The home kit was much better. Home kit was much better. Let's see what's being said. Struggling to find his seat was too funny. Yeah, no, like I said, I was just moving seat. You're gonna see Champions League draw for the laugh. Yes, I will be on BR Football for that with Fuad. We'll be looking at the Champions League draw for sure. So yeah, looking forward to that, even though we're not in it. What I'll do is I'll do a predictions video for what I think is going to happen in the group stages on this channel probably later on today, once that draw is done. Why are you wearing headphones? So what I was doing, again, what I was trying to do is I was trying to give people on the live a bit of commentary, but then I clocked they're not going to hear me that well, because there was to be fair, the atmosphere I thought was pretty good in the Matthew Harden. It was kind of funny. We was very shameless in that end. We was literally just, when we scored, chatting at Wimbledon fans saying that you're not singing anymore. Very shameless, considering the fact that we're playing against Wimbledon and they actually took the lead and we pretty much, you know, didn't batter them like we should have. But yeah, it was actually, I would say the atmosphere was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought at home to Wimbledon it's probably be a bit dead, but maybe because the tickets are a bit cheaper, let a lot of the younger fans in maybe, and they were quite loud. So I don't know. It was the atmosphere was a bit better than I was expecting, so that was good. Because sometimes at the bridge the atmosphere is pretty poor. But Wimbledon fans were good as well. They was giving it when they took the lead, so it was good fun. But yeah, I was trying to break that because a lot of people were like, "Oh, can you give us some commentary?" Because they can't tell what's going on because it's so far away. The action's happening all the way back there. So I was like, can they tell me what's going on? But yeah, not really doable. We will never be challenging with players like Gallagher. Keep missing easy chances. Can't believe we missed Kudus. Yeah, it's a good couple of opportunities. Good couple of opportunities in the end. There was one at the end of the game, I think, that it was pretty much an open goal, 2v2, passed it wide of the post. Enzo's goalkeeper's just moving mad, basically clears it into Jackson. And then he's just got a tap in as well. We kind of work our way to getting a tap in there. So yeah, like I said, we didn't even get like a brazy goal or anything, but at least Enzo and Madueke got their first goals, I think. So is that Madueke's first goal for Chelsea? I think it is. Can't remember him scoring before that. Mudryk, which, you know, is mad. These guys, they're getting their first goals for Chelsea now, you know. That's how bad we were last season. We didn't score no goals. Madueke's getting his first goal. Enzo's getting his first goal. Mudryk still hasn't got his first goal for Chelsea. Do you know how wild that is? Mudryk's not got his first goal for Chelsea yet. We have yet to celebrate a Mudryk goal. Hey, Lord Jesus. It's mad. It's actually mad. Oh, he scored versus Arsenal. He scored versus Arsenal at the Emirates in a defeat, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so that's the second. Yeah, scored versus Arsenal at the Emirates in a defeat. Where was it at home or was it away? I'm trying to think. I think it was away, wasn't it? Feels like it was an away game. It was a consolation goal that we lost. Yeah. I think it was a consolation goal. That didn't mean shit. That's why I don't remember it. I'm surprised you guys are remembering that goal. Who's remembering a 3-1 defeat to Arsenal? Bro, we kept it moving. I did not remember that one. I can't lie. That was a very pointless goal. Yeah, I remember it now, but nah. Yeah, we're not keeping that locked in. What a shame. What a shame. That was his first goal. Yeah, it didn't mean anything. Literally consolation. Another game where we were absolutely destroyed. I did see, yes, the slide dig from Poch at Spurs. Hilarious. I don't know if any other Premier League teams have gone out or it's just Tottenham, because that was mad rude. When I saw that, I thought, wow, that was a bit rude. So I don't know if are we the are they the only Premier League team to go out? Let me take a look. Let me take a look. Is that are they the only Premier League team to go out, or is he taking a piss here? Because that was very sly. Obviously, taking away from our performance, he was like, "Listen, don't talk about performance. There are Premier League teams that have gone out." So it could have been a long day. But let me see if results. We're taking a look. Nottingham Forest went out. I don't know if that was confirmed by the time he said that. Obviously, they played on the same day, so he probably didn't know. Let's see. Blackburn beat Harrogate for 8-0. Jesus. Sheffield United drew with that game. I don't know if that's even happened yet. No. Tottenham obviously going out. Maybe Forest. Yeah, I think maybe just Forest. And again, very scripted. Very scripted. Did I see Hugh? It was a dig at Spurs. Did you see Hugh calling us toxic for Cole Palmer on City Extra? I did not. I did not. Oil brothers not happy for one another, no? What is going on? I mean, listen, on this Cole Palmer thing, I spoke about it kind of when it broke. I think I was on a space at the time because I couldn't be live. I was traveling to the game. Someone tell me this Palmer is good. The thing is, we've actually, as Chelsea fans, we've got to see quite a lot of Palmer against us because he's played against us quite a few times. We played Manchester City 4 times last season, twice in the cup, and if I remember correctly, he started both those cup games, which we obviously lost both of them. So we've seen Cole Palmer quite a bit. Every time I've watched him, to be honest, I think he's been pretty good. The only thing about him is, I think the fee is a bit dangerous, and I'll get to that in a minute. But in terms of the player, very versatile in terms of he's shown that he can play right wing. This season, he's got 2 very good goals against Sevilla and Arsenal. It looks like he can strike a ball quite well. I know he hasn't played many minutes in the Premier League, but he looks like if given more minutes, if given more opportunity, he looks like he potentially has goals in him. He strikes the ball very well. Looks pretty composed in front of goal. He's played left wing against us. He's played right wing a lot earlier part of this season as well. And it looks like apparently he can play centrally as well. I've seen him on both flanks. He played left wing against us. I've seen him on both wings. Haven't seen him in the middle as much. But he does look like a good player. Do I think that 45 million is a lot? Yes. Do I think it's a bit of a risk? Yes. 45 million is a dangerous fee because, as I said on the space, you can't really make a profit on that type of fee unless that player is absolutely smashing it. So it means that he's coming in to do serious business for me, and it means that he's coming in to fight for a starting position, obviously, and it means that he can't really afford to flop. He's gone past that point of he's just a rotational player for 30 mil. That, you know, if we have to loan out, maybe, you know, we can get away with it. Maybe in a few years, if it's not worked out, we can still make a profit. He's kind of gone past that fee. Once you're like 45 million, you gotta handle business now, because you can't really flop. It is a lot. It is a lot of money, and especially a lot of money for a player that doesn't usually start for City. Obviously, they've had a lot of depth issues this season. They've got Bernardo out. They haven't signed all of their attackers. Doku wasn't available. Matisse Nunes has only come in as well. De Bruyne injured. So he's a very good player. I'm a lot happier with this one than I was with Smith Rowe. Very, very annoyed with the Smith Rowe links. Very annoyed with the Sancho links. Didn't want to see even Asu Fati, even though, yes, very talented, extremely injury prone. Had a lot of injuries and would have got absolutely probably smashed to pieces in the Premier League, and most likely probably would have got injured as well. So I think Palmer's is a sound, smart signing. I think he's a very good player. I think a lot of people are looking at obviously the minutes and they're thinking, oh, what is this? But you have to remember who he's going up against in these positions. It's Foden, who was in the same position as Palmer a few years ago, where he couldn't get any minutes as well, because it was David Silva and it was De Bruyne, and he was also struggling to get in and around. But up until this point, Man City haven't loaned him, I don't think, Cole Palmer. And I don't think they wanted to let him go. I think they were happy to keep him. They've kind of sold him because the money is kind of too good to turn down, which is why I'm saying it's a little bit overpriced. because 45 million is a strong fee for the amount of minutes that he's played. But when you watch him, when I've watched him, I've not been disappointed. I think he's played very well when I've watched him in the minutes that he's played. So I think he's a very good player. I think he's got potential. Obviously, wasn't one of my guys on the list, but much better than Rafinha coming in, much better than Sancho, Smith Rowe, all of these guys. He's confident. He's not in a downward trajectory. He can only go in an upward trajectory. So I'm pretty happy that we're not going for someone that is injury prone or in bad form, no confidence, that kind of thing. Where's he going to play? I mean, we'll have to see. He could play. The thing is with him is he could play anywhere, which is kind of good. He's shown that he can play in the 10. He's coming from Pep, so he's been coached well, trained well. Joe Shields knows him very well as well. Everybody's seen that image kind of circling around. And again, I can't judge it to say, oh, he's only got 19 games or however many games he's got. Let me take a look at Man City and say, oh, that means he's not a good player. You just have to watch him when he's played and say, is he a good player? If he comes on for Man City and he stinks out the place, then yes, he's not a good player. But that's not the case. When he comes on, he plays very well. You have to understand, Man City, they're the best team in the world. Is he going to get that same amount of minutes at Man United? No. He would. This guy would start for Man United. He would start on the right wing for Man United. He would start. He would literally start at Manchester United, no problems. And I know that's not difficult to do because Anthony's stinking out the place, but it's just to provide a bit of context to say, just because he's not starting at Manchester City, it doesn't mean he's a bad player. I said it with Jesus when he was leaving Man City as well. A lot of people were like, "Oh, he's Man City scraps. I don't want him." Again, very, very good player. Did very well for Arsenal. Was a massive part as to why they challenged for the league. Obviously, he was out injured, so he didn't maybe get as many goals as he could have. But that was another very, very good player. Alvarez doesn't always start. Last season didn't start much for City, but again, no one would call him scraps at Man City. You just have to just look at the player and see, okay, cool. Are they of quality? Less so about the games, because the guy we know who he's fighting for in those positions. I'm not saying he's better, no, but what I am saying is that he's got more potential. And I think when you look at Rafinha, it made really no sense. A lot of the time, Poch was saying, I want someone that can play in across the front. I want somebody that doesn't impede on, the players when they come back. Someone that still makes sense when Nkunku comes back, when Carney comes back. If we sign Rafinha at right wing, he can only play at right wing. And Sterling's already out there ripping it up. So now you've left yourself in a position where you've got Sterling, who's in form at right wing, Rafinha, who can only play right wing, and Madueke, who's at the moment down as a right winger as well, hasn't played left for us. So it's overcompensating on the right hand side. At least with Palmer, like I said, he's played on the left, he's played on the right, he can play down the middle. So he's played in all of those positions. So yeah, I think he is a different profile to what we have. As long as he can strike the ball consistently, as well as I've seen him strike it on the odd occasion to get those goals. Scored a wonderful goal against Arsenal in the Community Shield. I think he got man the match in that game in the Community Shield, even though he was he coming off the bench in that match? I think he got man the match against Arsenal in the Community Shield earlier on this season. Scored in the Super Cup. So obviously, it's not much to go off in terms of Premier League experience. Only one game this season, 14 last season. I'm guessing a lot of his appearances last season were off the bench. So it's not like he's got 14 appearances and no goals, 1 assist. It's how many minutes? 400 and something minutes. Someone was saying in the Premier League. Most of the time he's played has been in the cup. What is it? 4 games last year in the Champions League. 3 in the cup, in the EFL Cup, and obviously I'd say in the FA as well. Listen, it is a lot, but we've trusted this recruitment team up until this point. Every single kind of player that they brought in, we've had to buy into that young player. It's not loads of game time to go off, but listen, Mudryk wasn't a lot to go off either, and here we are. People still obviously have to believe and put their back in on him. So let's see what's being said. Palmer's nothing like Kai. Mudryk has done more than Palmer. Mudryk costs more. But Mudryk, for what he cost as well, hasn't done enough. I would say that he's around about kind of a 30. I'd say that him, 30, 35 million max kind of player. Madueke, similar price. Palmer, similar price. That's why I would have priced all of them at. Obviously, English tax, rival tax, I guess, in the league is why we're paying that extra 10. But we missed out on Kudus. That was kind of disappointment for me. We're not getting Cherky. That was clear that they're not really going for him. I don't know whether or not that last gasp attempt to get Kudus was even true, because I don't understand why you move late for Kudus when he's always been kind of available. Just go for him before West Ham. Brighton literally agreed a deal with Ajax, so you can see he's available. Couldn't agree personal terms, and that was the options. We didn't go for him, so that was already kind of like ship sailed there. So who are we going to get? And yeah, for me, better than Smith Rowe and better than Sancho in this current moment. We didn't go for Turkey. Yeah, we never went for Turkey. Kudus, like I said, we were linked. Apparently, we agreed personal terms with Kudus a month ago. I remember doing a stream about it, but we never followed up on that. So I don't know what was going on there. I don't know what was going on there. Let's see what else is being said. Palmer will be better than Mudryk for sure. It's down to them to fight for that position. Like I said, Cole Palmer can play on the left. So it's going to give Mudryk some competition. He can play in the 10 while we don't have a 10 currently, because he's been talking about moving Enzo there, moving Gallagher there, but none of them are 10s. We're going to see if Palmer is a 10, because I haven't really seen him in the 10 much. He's played a lot in the England under 21s. I think he's played on the flanks. I'm not sure if he's played in the 10 for the England under 21s. I like Palmer because he's good threat and 1v1. There's Kingsley. Let's take a look. What can we get together in terms of, I'm guessing the comps have been put out. Let me see what I can find. Surely there's got to be something out there of good quality. What's been getting the most views recently? What's the best comp? I mean, we've seen him, so it's not like we don't know who this guy is. So it is familiar. Premier League experience, covers multiple positions. The only thing that this box didn't tick is experience. But we know that, I've said it before, this board have not brought in anyone over the age of 25. Sanchez is 25. Decisi is 25. They've not brought in a single player over the age of 25 since January. I don't think. If that's wrong, let me know. But I think that's pretty much correct. Not a single player over the age of 25. So every single target was also under 25. Sancho, Smith Rowe, all of these guys that were even getting mentioned were under 25. So yeah, it's not a surprise, is it? Let's be honest. This is where we're going. So let's see. But yeah, some madness. Let's see what's being said in the comments. Let's see how this one looks. But yeah, like I said, you're going to see him in this comp popping up on both flanks. That versatility that Pochettino spoke about, being able to play across the front. So that means whoever is fit, never going to directly block. I think we're on the cusp of just borderline when everybody's fit, unhealthy competition. Obviously, now we have 4 wingers after loaning out Angelo. Diego's in the under 21s. As you can see, decent to good ball striker. That's Mudryk, Palmer, Madueke, Sterling. But as I always felt, and I said it when we was kind of building the squad over the summer, that 4th winger option needs to be versatile. It can't be a 4th out-and-out winger, because then you've got 4 wingers competing for 2 positions. 2 of them are not going to be starting. If 2 are in form, you don't particularly want to rotate, right? Sterling, we're not rotating him right now. He's starting. So that's only 1 spot left. And then you've got 2 on the bench. So just for the kind of betterment of the squad, good to have someone who can play in other positions as well, so they're not completely reliant on playing out wide, especially with no Europe. So it's good delivery there from him. And it means now that on the left, we have a left footer option and a right footer option. On the right, we have a right footer option and a left footer option. That is a fantastic finish. Obviously, you can play on the right as well, as you're seeing with that finish there. That is a crazy finish. And I don't mean to be rude, but we have not seen our wingers do any of this. We have not seen our wingers outside of Sterling who can score. Look at the strike. Like, this is not a fluke that he can shoot like this. We have not seen our wingers shoot like this. I've said it before. Madueke's ball striking needs great improvement. Mudryk in training. I was speaking to people that work with Chelsea yesterday. He always smashes it in training, but then on the pitch, we're not seeing any goals from him. Palmer's shown that he can strike the ball. He can shoot. So he's got a very polished strike of the ball. This is something that we need. We need somebody that on the flanks can potentially score goals. Obviously, it's not there in writing. It's not there in set in stone. But this is what we're all about right now with this manager and with this board. Is we're buying players that are just on the cusp of breaking out. So Cole Palmer's on the cusp of having a big season where everyone's like, oh my days, this guy's worth 80 million. He's not worth it yet. And obviously we're taking the gamble by bringing him in when he's not, before everybody's on the train, on the hype. But if we've got the scouts and we've seen Cole Palmer perform and we think, yes, this guy has the potential to be a 80, 90 million pound player, we've got him at 45, and now it's up to us to make him into that 45, into that 80 million pound player. So that's what it's about with all of these players that we're bringing in. And you have to assume that there's too much talent here to fail as well. With the quality of the manager that we have, surely there's too much talent to fail, where enough of these guys are going to become the 80 million pound players. But I don't know. We're going to see how it's going to be probably a 7-8 year contract that he signed on for. So we'll take a look at that as well when it happens. Wages wise, I think he was on like 20 to 27k at Man City. So again, whenever you're looking at targets, people are looking at Fati. He's on 200k a week. Looking at Musiala, he's going to be on a lot as well. You always need to take into account how much these players are making wage wise, because Chelsea are, as I've mentioned in All You Can Eat Chelsea, the wage structures come down massively in terms of the wage bill. You know, Lukaku off the books, Kante off the books, Koulibaly off the books. Loftus-Cheek was on 150 off the books. Mount, not on much, but they didn't want to give him a certain amount. Havertz, Kepa, Cucurella going to Man United. So we've cleared a lot of money off the wage bill. So if you see anyone making 200k, it's not happening. It seems it's not happening. He was only on 20 to 27. It was saying on Google. So, and this is the game against us. He absolutely ripped Azpilicueta to shreds. Not that that's difficult to do at Azpilicueta's age at that moment, but he did rip him to shreds. But yeah, it's one of those ones where, like I said, we're buying in. Aspie was getting rinsed, man. It was a rough day for Aspie. It was a rough day for Azpilicueta. But I hear the other side. Let me tell you that I hear the other side of it, that, you know, we already have enough talent to develop. Madueke needs developing. Mudryk needs developing. I've mentioned before about having too many young players in one position. That's the only reason why, again, that I'm not like against this one, is that he can play in those multiple positions, and he's not kind of not blocking, but he's not kind of restricted to one area. And I feel like if we went down a situation where we just signed someone that just can play in the 10 or can just play on the right, when Nkunku and Carney are back, now they're kind of almost pointless as an option in this team. They don't really have anything to bring. They're not of any use to us. A lot of the time we always say if everyone's fit, but listen, when is everyone going to be fit? You know, it looks like in modern football now, everyone's always going to have a couple of injuries in their squad. We, for sure, are going to have a lot of injuries in our squad at all times, it seems. So, yeah, if everyone's fit, it is a lot of players in Carney and Nkunku, 4 potential wingers, and it is a bit crowded, but it doesn't really feel like that's ever going to be the case. And it is just for one season, because, you know, we are planning and expecting to qualify for Champions League next year. So if it is a season where, I guess, you know, there is a little bit extra than needed because everyone's fit, then that will just be for the 1 year. But Poch has definitely co-signed this one, and he's definitely co-signed this one. And I think he is very clear on having a 23 max man squad. So we'll go through the squad, I guess, in a minute and see if that's actually going to be feasible. But with the players that are leaving, and there could still be maybe a surprise. We never know. There could be somebody leaving that we're not expecting. But with the players that are leaving, we should be hitting that 23 kind of man squad mark. Another under 23, Chelsea helping the kids more than the Conservative Party having the last decade. That's mad from LJ Brown. Absolutely mad. He's a Mahrez type right winger, though. Does he get game time? Like I said, he can play both flanks. He's played on the left as well. They may even use him as an inside kind of 8 position. So depending on the situation, he may play in a 4-3-3. Maybe he'll play as the right-sided 8 and he'll be the most advanced. And then he'll kind of drift into that kind of De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, half space on coming in off the right. So you could potentially still play a Sterling who's going on the overlap. Obviously, he's going down the right. He's on the right footed, kind of making those cutbacks. And then you've got a left footer in Palmer that kind of gives you that balance. So they're doubling up on that right-hand side. So you've got a good balance there of a left footer cutting in, a right footer going around the outside. And that allows Augusto to maybe tuck in and invert like a Ben White you've seen or whoever else from right back. The Man City, they've inverted their right backs a few times as well. So that could be the situation as well. You might see him double up on the right-hand side. So wouldn't rule that out because we've got Enzo, we've got Caicedo, we've got Lavia, we've got other players that can play in the 2 midfield positions that are more maybe defensive minded, especially if it's Lavia and Caicedo and if it's Leslie as well. Say we need to rest Enzo, he's, God forbid, he got injured. You've got a potential attack minded player that can play in the midfield that will advance and double up on that side, and he can play left as well. But which one is his best position? I'm kind of, I don't want to say it at this early stage. Obviously, we've not seen enough minutes really accumulate from him for me to be saying which is his best position. A Man City fan may be able to tell me more, but I've seen him on the left. I've seen him on the right. I do like him on the right in terms of what he's able to do, cutting in and striking the ball. We haven't got a right winger that's doing that. Like I said, Madueke is not shooting the way that Palmer's shooting, which I've seen. But which flank is his best flank? If he's better in the 10, I don't know. We're going to see, because he's not played enough football for me to really comment on his best position. Palmer is what I thought Havertz would be when we first signed him, says C. Let's take a look at his profile actually, because injury, I don't think he's got anything. I've not heard anything about injury records or anything like that. And that was another thing. Even with Kudus, you know, there was a little bit of a concern with injuries as well. And maybe that's the reason why they haven't gone for Kudus. You know, we did look at Kudus's injury record a little bit, and we said, okay, there's a couple of injuries here, and there's a couple of little niggles and little moments where we're thinking, okay, it's a bit of a gamble, and we are trying to get away from that. So that could also be a reason they've not gone for him. Who knows? That could genuinely be a reason. That's the only reason really I can think of as to why they haven't gone for him, because profile wise, the only thing Palmer's got on him is that Palmer can play left. I've not seen Kudus play left wing too much, but in terms of ball striking, Kudus is giving you that. I don't know if Cole Palmer's a better creator in terms of his final ball, in terms of his vision, than Kudus. Kudus obviously a very good dribbler and ball carrier, but he can play on the right, he can play in the middle, can play just off the front, false nine. So yeah, I think the only thing I can think of is maybe the injuries is what they've tried to stay clear of. Let's see. Jesus, let me take a look. Where can I find how many? Let me see his positions. This season. No, I want to see overall. So let's take a look at the overall where he's been, because this is something that's just not that I'm just saying. Take a look at he's played attacking midfield. So I'm just taking a look at where he's played over the course of his career. And this is throughout under 18s, PL2, because we have to look into that. He's played Premier League 19 games, PL2 26 games, 21 goals, 10 assists, which is ridiculous. He's kind of smashed it at that level. Under 18, 25 games, 19 goals, 6 assists, but absolutely smashed it at PL2 level, which is what got him into the first team in the first place. Youth Cup, a couple games, Champions League, EFL, FA Cup. So he's got a sprinkle of everything, UEFA Youth Cup, everything. He's played 25 games in attacking midfield, 16 goals, 6 assists, 16 games in centre midfield. I'm guessing that was at youth level, 11 goals, 3 assists, 15 games at right, and 7 games off the left winger position. And right midfield, right wing, I'm going to put it together. So basically 22 games out on the right, and on the left, basically 10 games. So very much versatile, that's for sure. He's played everywhere. And they did say they wanted that. He's played everywhere. So hopefully he's not one of those players that's got the versatility but specialist in nothing, you know, because we've had a few of those at our team before. But decent ball striking, that's it. Iceman's clearly not happy. Well, if Iceman's not confident, then that's probably a good thing, because he wasn't very confident with Jackson either. And look where we are now. So Jackson's looking good. So whenever Iceman's not confident, it's probably a good time to invest stocks. Kudus is a baller, and Kuka will be back by the time Jackson and Kudus would leave for AFCON. Yeah. Will he be ready to start? I don't know. The nature of his injury probably would need a little bit of rehabilitation in Kuku, but that was always my thing with Elise as well, is that, you know, by the time Elise is fit, I think Carney will probably be fit as well. So it didn't really make as much sense. You did need somebody that was at least going to be available from the get-go and was available now. Otherwise, what was the point? Palmer is absolutely clear of Kudus. Don't want another Ajax skill merchant like Anthony. Jesus. I wouldn't compare Kudus to Anthony, if I'm completely honest. I see a lot of Chelsea fans complaining about Palmer, and honestly makes me give me more hope he'll actually do something good here. Yeah, I wouldn't compare Anthony to Kudus. That's for sure. That's an unfair comparison because they play for the same club. Nothing alike. Nothing alike whatsoever. So yeah, I wouldn't make that comparison. Let's see what else is being said. Let's see. He's another Havertz. A lot of people are comparing him to Havertz. Insider says apparently Cole Palmer does not train well and not great outside of training. By the way, well done in growth. Keep it up, bro. Much appreciated, AK. We're gonna have to see for ourselves. A lot of City fans are not happy that they lost him, but some are happy with the fee, so it's kind of a mix. Chelsea fans are addicted to signing big names. Let's see. Palmer was pissed because they signed Doku. I think once they signed Doku, yeah, that might have sealed his fate a little bit. I still didn't expect him to leave because I still think there's potential for game time in there for him, but yeah, I mean, he's got, if he comes in and smashes it first game, he's got the opportunity to come in and start for us because we ain't got anybody playing in that 10. He's an output winger. Let's see what else is being said. Kudus might not suit the Prem though. We'll have to see. We're going to see at West Ham very soon. I want that Lukaku deal announced as well. I don't know if he's got. I don't think he's going to now be able to play against Roma. I don't think he's going to get to play against Milan on Friday tomorrow. I'm meant to be covering that. And yeah, I'm not seeing now that it's dead. Yes, it's deadline day, but now that it looks like we've done all of our business for the incoming, I was kind of playing around with, am I going to do that game or am I going to do deadline day? But I just do both. I just cover the game. Roma versus Milan. That should be a good game. Pulisic will be playing. Loftus-Cheek will be playing. Giroud, Tomori, Leao. It's going to be a great game. So I want to watch Milan. We got Roma. I was hoping Lukaku would sign for Roma in time where he could play that game. Maybe hopefully he gets announced today. Probably too early. Even if he made the bench, just for the storyline. But I don't know if he's going to be there now in time for that match, which is a shame. I don't know what the holdup is. So I'm pretty sure it's a here we go was given, right? So medical, that kind of stuff should get done kind of quickly. Yes, Napoli, Lazio might be better, but obviously Chelsea plays Saturday against Nottingham Forest, so that's the issue there. I don't really stream games after the Chelsea games. It takes too much energy out of me, to be honest. Way too much energy out of me. Anthony's whack. Iceman, you have to kind of give it time. I've noticed you don't really have much patience. You know what I mean? You're very much, if I don't see it now, then it doesn't exist. And I'm like, that's just not how it works. You know, if you're signing these young players, you kind of have to you kind of have to be able to see foresight. You have to foresight what they could become. It's not fun for you because obviously you want guarantees. You want what you're seeing is what you get. And a lot of Chelsea fans want that because that's what we're used to. But that's just not what we're doing right now. We're buying young players, and you need to be able to have foresight. You need to be able to see traits, attributes, see their strengths, think, can their weaknesses be improved upon? Are their weaknesses coachable, or is it purely down to talent? Or is it something that can be coached? Is it something that's systematic? Is it something that could just be, improved upon gradually? And it's difficult. It's not easy. That's why we're not coaches. But coaches are being paid. Scouts are being paid as well, to do just that. And they've chosen Cole Palmer as the option. So when I'm very happy with what they've brought in from January onwards in terms of Badiashile, astute. Again, too early to write off someone like Decisive, even though a lot of people are not impressed early doors. Fair enough, but too early. In terms of Jackson, brilliant scouting done there. So I have to at least hear them out on this one and see how it is. See how it goes. Check the Fifth Stand app. Let's see. But even he may not be, even if Decisive isn't a world beater, he's not actually meant to be a starter. I think obviously Fofana is kind of the guy that we shelled out the money on. He's the one that's really meant to be week in, week out. He's a big money defender. He's meant to be the guy that starts. When he's back, he's meant to be putting up trees. So but you could definitely look at that one and say, was it really needed? We have Chalobah, we have Humphreys. I was saying the same. I was saying on this channel, like, Chalobah's right there. A lot of people, they don't rate Chalobah that highly. I get it. He's not elite or anything. But unless you're improving vastly on him, what is the point in spending on another player? But we'll see. It's too early. Well, let's see if this guy becomes something tangible. Let's see. But yeah, like I said, Chalobah's, he doesn't cost anything. If you get a good fee for Chalobah, then fair enough. But at the moment, the fees for Chalobah have been pretty disappointing. Bayern Munich have been trying to rip us off with some foolish fees as well. I haven't been very impressed. It's official. Is it official? Let's take a look. So maybe he could play tomorrow. Let's take a look. Chelsea. Yes! Yes! Oh, thank you. Oh, yes. I'm so glad I was live for this before I left today for DR. Yes. Lukaku. He's left. I was just asking. I was just putting it out into the atmosphere. Lukaku has completed his season-long loan move to Roma. It's over. Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you. Iceman, you're going to have to hold that. Take in those tears. Take in those tears. You are going to have to hold that. He's gone. He is gone. Oh, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. It's too early. I feel like it's too early to drink. To drink to this. Is it too early to drink to this? I know he's coming back in 7 months, but I just don't have to see him. Oh, wow. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this. Read this. What a traitor. I feel like it's too early to drink. Too early to drink to this. Too early to cheers to this. Every time this man steps foot out of my football club, even if he steps back in a year later, it's just, we're biding ourselves some time. And the great thing about this as well is that his wages have been reduced for when he comes back. His contract for the remaining 2 years, I think it is, his wages have been reduced. I'd love to know what it's been reduced to, if there's any detail on that. If anybody knows in the chat, let me know, because I haven't seen the actual numbers. But he's gone on loan to Roma. They're paying a fee, I think, as well. Hopefully, maybe is it about 5, something like that, 5 million upwards, maybe 5 to 7. And they're paying all of his wages. So because his wages have been reduced. So yeah. It's over. He's gone. It's not over, but he's gone for now. And it's just, again, it's just a relief that we're not using him this season. There's so many people that were starting to contemplate it, starting to consider it, starting to make a reason for it and say, oh, maybe this could work if we give him a chance. And I was just like, bruv, just kill me, bro. Just actually kill me. There's just no way this guy could be reintegrated into the team. And I was just hoping that we weren't gonna do it. And because that Cole Palmer deal seems to be our last deal, it looks like we're not getting a striker. So we're going to be going into we know that Winstanley's a big fan of Ivan Toney as well. That was reported a couple of months ago. I think it's still being mentioned as a potential move that we're going to make in January. We know that we're speaking apparently to Ivan Toney's representatives every single day, keeping track on his fitness, how he's looking, how he's feeling. And we know that in January he's going to be available. He's just changed agents and he's got the same agent, I think, as Cole Palmer. So it looks like Ivan Toney is definitely one to watch in January. Chelsea are going to be moving on. And then it will be kind of Toney, Jackson, and maybe Bruyne, depending on how his recovery goes and depending on where he's at come January. But at this current moment, up until then, it's going to be Jackson. It's going to be Bruyne when he's back fit. He's back in training now. Hopefully, he'll be available in a couple of weeks. And that's why, obviously, Bristow played yesterday. Can't be risking any Jackson injuries. He came off the bench. I think the only thing that would have made us move for a striker would have been if Jackson got injured. Washington is still here, yes. Until we hear anything on that, he may end up staying as well as a better option than Bristow as a backup, maybe. So maybe Washington will be the third striker until January, until we maybe acquire this Portuguese club, because we're looking at getting a Portuguese club. We're trying to take majority stake in Sporting Lisbon as well. So maybe if we get a Portuguese club before January, then maybe Washington goes out on loan then. I don't know. But he's still with us at the moment. Vote in the chat. Unmod Iceman. So yeah, we've read this one out. All I'm hearing is Cope. Matisse Palmer looks meaty. No, honestly, it's not. It's not. It's not. I like what I've seen from Palmer. Like I said, I've not seen a lot, and I've said already, I think the fee is a lot. I would have preferred something like 30, 35 million. I think 45 million is a bit too much. It's a bit steep. It's very high up on the top end of what I would have been looking to pay. And I think it changes his kind of role and it changes my expectations long term of him when you go from 30, 35 to kind of 45, nearly 50. But it's not copium, no, because I made it very clear I don't want Sancho. If we'd signed Sancho, I'd have been very, very disappointed, because even though I like Sancho from his Dortmund times, again, you're basically doing what Man United did with Mount. You're doing what Arsenal did with Havertz. You're trying to resurrect this player that we haven't seen in the Premier League. And you're taking a massive gamble with someone on high wages, someone that is going to probably cost a lot as well. I don't want us to take that type of risk. If you're buying someone expensive on high wages, they've got to be a bona fide top player that you have very little doubts over. Someone like an Enzo Fernandez, someone like a Caicedo that you're building your team around. So the board are an interesting one right now, because a lot of people are saying, okay, what are we really doing? We're buying a lot of young players, trying to make profit here, there, and everywhere. We're not going to make profit on Enzo Fernandez. We're not going to make profit on Caicedo. We've brought these players in to be mainstays, centerpieces in our team for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So those type of players, those type of investments shows ambition. We're trying to sign the best, the very best in their position up and coming for the next decade. Those are two players that could have played for City, could have played for Enzo, could have easily played for Real Madrid, right? We're signing the best of the best in that position. And if we're not signing the best of the best, then we're signing under 50 million, apart from Madrid, potential that we feel like we can develop and we can either make into 80, 90. And hopefully then if they are worth that, we're keeping them and we're winning shit. If they're not, then maybe they're worth 50 and we're making small profits here and there. And we're trying to, bring in other players. So they are ambitious at the moment, but let's see if this grand master plan works. I'm not like I said, I'm not, if we had signed Smith Rowe or we'd signed Sancho or we had signed, or Rafinha, I would not be very happy with that. Would not be very optimistic with that move for the different reasons. Sancho, not informed, not confident, not looking good in the Prem. Looking like there's too many variables around Sancho as well. Like, I think he needs to play in the 10. I think he needs to play false 9. I think he needs to play centrally. But that is not what Pochettino asked for. Pochettino asked for someone that could play across the forward positions. You sign Sancho and he can only play centrally at his best in the Prem. And we haven't seen evidence of that. You've seen just as much evidence of Sancho playing centrally in the Prem as you've seen in Cole Palmer. And probably less, right? There's more evidence on Cole Palmer playing the Prem than there is on Sancho playing centrally. He played mostly out wide. If he can only play centrally and combine with players in the middle and is not that quick, not explosive, then that's very limiting. Can't play left, can't play right to a good level in the Prem. So that's Rafinha can only play right. And then Smith Rowe, injuries, haven't seen him for 2 years. So I would not have been gassing up those players. I can tell you that for free. I'm not even really gassing up Palmer. I just think Palmer's I think he's a lot better player than people are maybe giving him credit for. But I think the fee, like I said, I think the fee is a bit high. If it was 30, I think a lot of people would have been like, oh, that's quite shrewd business. Because it's 45, it's like Mudryk. If Mudryk was like 40, 35, again, people would have been giving him more time, more patience, maybe more of a shrewd move. For what we pay, it's a little bit sketchy. It's a little bit iffy, but it's Premier League tax at the end of the day. Should we really be taking players from Man City deemed not good enough? Would they have ever sold Foden to a rival a few years ago? Should have gotten Verts. Listen, City are an interesting one because, like I said, people say that, but you look at Zinchenko, you look at Jesus. I know that they didn't win the title in the end, but we can't say that they didn't literally catapult Arsenal into a whole new position in the league that they were not familiar with. And Zinchenko and Jesus were absolutely instrumental and critical in that. Now, did they in the end, Zinchenko kind of become part of the reason they didn't win it? Yes. Making mistakes, getting nutmegged by Trent, all these things. But if you take Chelsea and you say, okay, we're going to go from 12th to missing out on the title due to some errors that were made by players that put us in this position in the first place, and then they just didn't have the experience or the know-how, or they didn't have the capacity to finish off the job at the end. Are we taking that this season? Yes, we are. So there is quality at Man City. We just signed Lavia, mind you, who left Manchester City for Southampton, who was maybe deemed not good enough, right? Lavia, who Liverpool want, and he's gone to Southampton, and now everybody wants him, and we've gotten him, and no one's talking about a Man City reject because he's got that Southampton period in between. So I think it's got to be deeper than Man City reject, because Man City in the end they got rid of Sane. Is Sane a Man City reject? Sterling right now has been our best attacker in the start of the season. Is he a Manchester City reject? We got to look deeper than that. There's Chelsea rejects that Man City have. Is Kevin De Bruyne a Chelsea reject? Yes, he is. He was got rid of by Chelsea. 4 players that we deemed better at the time. Juan Mata, Oscar, even Schürrle stayed, right? He was rejected. He was sent away. And now he's at Man City. Now he's one of the best players in Premier League history. You take a look at Nathan Ake. Is he a Chelsea reject? Yes, he is. He was off-cast by Chelsea. He came through our academy. Last season, he's one of the best centre-backs in the league. Mainstay in the Manchester City team. And I can go on and on about Chelsea rejects Tomori, but they start for other top clubs. So I think just saying reject of a top club is not enough. Is Salah a Chelsea reject? Yes, Salah is a Chelsea reject. Salah was away at Shrewsbury, sticking shots at the corner flag. Yeah, if you remember that shot from Mohamed Salah against Shrewsbury, sticking shots near the corner flag, missing target. That's a Chelsea reject. Now he's one of the best Premier League players of all time at Liverpool, and he's a god to them. So we can do this whole reject thing for everyone. It doesn't make sense. Football is just not that black and white. Whenever you think of a black and white statement, just remember it's football. And then you'll be able to come up with multiple examples for why that logic will not stand up and will not be consistent. We are taking a reject, you can say. I don't really care. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm more looking at the player. If it's a shit player, then it's a shit player. If it's a good player of potential, it's a good player of potential. If it's a top player that they don't want anymore, or they doesn't want to be there anymore, then it's a top player. Regardless of where they're coming from, what club, for me, it's just about what you've watched and what you're seeing. Let's see, Joe Shields. Yes, Lukaku is official. He is for sure. Lukaku is official. Don't worry, we've seen it. A lot of people are chanting Iceman out. So yeah, for me, that logic doesn't stand up consistently. So it's not something that can be used. Wow, people really want Iceman out, innit? What do you think will be? Who do you think will be the breakout players? Yours is Chuck. Well, we got to see how he comes back. He's 6 weeks out, come back from the injury. Hopefully get back to how he played. It's just such a shame that he plays so well against West Ham. He plays really, really well against West Ham, right? He's brilliant against West Ham. Gets his goal, and then he's out. So, we just need to avoid these injuries. It's very stop and start. It's a disappointment in that respect. But he'll be back. He'll be hopefully back stronger, and then we go from there. But I don't want to say him because he's come back from that injury now. It'll put me off saying that he's going to necessarily break out. I don't know what that injury or maybe slow him down. Maybe he won't be able to get back into the team now. If Cole Palmer comes into that 10 position, absolutely smashes it, then especially we've got favourable fixtures for him to begin with, maybe he doesn't get back into the team, Carney. So we'll have to see. All right, let's go through these super chats. We're going to wrap up soon because I got to go. What do you think? So yeah, we've read that one out. Much appreciated. If I'm gonna give you one player that I think will break out, I'm just gonna go with Jackson. I'm very impressed with what he's done so far. The fact that he's also going to definitely get regular minutes as well. He's going to be starting every game up until January. Don't think anybody will really come close to him. Obviously, Bruyne has come back from injury, but he'll probably come off the bench. I think minutes and for what we've seen quality wise, Jackson's a safe bet. Needs to know he's a troll. Get him out. Iceman out in the chat, people. He's a troll. Jesus, Roman Abramovich is not having it today. Damn, that man wants him out. And let's see. So yeah, that's my answer on the whole Man City kind of reject thing. It's not something that's consistently stands up. When a top club lets go of a player, like a Pogba at Man United, goes to Juventus on a free as a reject, and then he comes back to Man United for 100 million. It's just not something that stands up consistently. So it's not an argument I'm willing to really use for players. It's too black and white. It's too easy. So yeah, right. We're gonna wrap up. I'm gonna be on DR at 12:30, so I better get going, guys. Big up your damn selves. Make sure you smash up the like, subscribe. I will be back later on today with some form of content. I'll be doing the Champions League draw on the BR Football app. I've been doing a lot of content with them recently, so check that out as well. You'll see me there with Fuad. And I'll be back later on because I'm sure there's going to be something else that happens, something else that maybe breaks. It's a shame that I couldn't really celebrate the Lukaku one as I wanted to, but I feel like it's too early to drink. So it is what it is, but he's gone. He is gone. He is gone. He's out of my club. Lovely stuff. So we keep it moving. We're not in the Champions League, no, but we will be discussing the draw anyway, because we are football fans. And then I will be doing a video on the predictions for the Champions League as well, and what I make of the groups on here later on. And then tomorrow's deadline day, and we're covering Roma versus AC Milan watch along, and we're covering the deadline as well, and any more deals that happen. I'm actually looking forward to the window closing. We've done a lot of business. It's been very exhausting. We've done a lot of business, a lot of incomings, a lot of outgoings. I'm good. I'm good to wrap this up now and keep it stepping. So yeah, look forward to the Palmer announcement and all the details. I'd say he'd probably be expect him to be on about maybe 60K, maybe 70K a week. No more than 100, that's for sure. Maybe he'll get lucky and get the 90 plus K, but I don't think he'll be on more than 100, and I'll probably be on another 8-year deal. So that's probably what he's going to be around about what he's on. He's on 27 now, so they could double his wages. They could even triple it, and it'd be, under the 100K mark. So I'd say probably look out for about 90K, something like that. All right. Let's wrap it. Big up. We're waiting on that show deal. Not done quite yet, I don't think. But until then, big up your damn selves in a bit, people. Peace.